constitutional crisis after government suspends both High Court justices. Two whistleblowers in the Rotherham sexual abuse scandal have accused the police watchdog of protecting senior police officers and acting like the Mafia. Youth worker, Jayne Senior, and former police strategic drugs analyst, Angie Heal, made a complaint against senior command at South Yorkshire Police for failing to protect children again last week. The complaint was successfully upheld by the police watchdog. However, the pair say they had to battle to get their allegations heard and say they were originally warned by the watchdog they were making a vexatious complaint, which could lead to imprisonment. Ms. Senior, a youth worker awarded an MBE in 2016, says when she made the complaint about senior officers, she was told by the Independent Office for Police Conduct, IOPC, if I continued, I would be seen as a vexatious complainant, which means I would be stopped from making any more complaints. Grab Angie Heal. When she pressed ahead, she added, I received a very angry telephone call from someone in the IOPC, saying very clearly that if I continue down this path, I need to be very aware that there's actually legislation that if a vexatious complainant continues to complain they can be looking at 2 years imprisonment. She later told her husband, wow, it's like the Mafia, you try to go for them at the top and everyone around them comes out fighting. They see us as a pariah. Rather than thinking how can we change things, they are thinking how can we silence this person and how can we make it as difficult as possible for them to come forward. Ms. Senior said while she had made several complaints on behalf of victims, without trouble, and was being approached by the IOPC for help with these, the difficulties came when her complaints related to high-ranking officers. Sarah Champion, MP for Rotherham, what I would say about Angie and Jayne is, they were persecuted. They still are being persecuted. These are two people trying to help the most vulnerable people in our community being vilified, told they were making vexatious allegations. Read more. Sexually abused children in Rotherham were seen as problems, not victims. Ms. Senior had previously been given a Commander's Award by the police after the successful prosecution of a grooming gang in 2010, and she had been invited to Downing Street in thanks for the work she had done to expose the scale of abuse in Rotherham, which emerged after a public inquiry by Alexis J. Professor J's report in 2014 concluded around 1,400 children had been sexually abused between 1997 and 2013, predominantly by British Pakistani men. A decade earlier, drug strategy analyst at South Yorkshire Police, Angie Heal, had written 3 internal reports between 2002 and 2006 which identified child sexual abuse within drugs gangs. Video. Police sorry for failure in Rotherham child sex abuse scandal, The Telegraph. Video player from YouTube, privacy policy, terms. Vindicated. She had been shocked by her findings but felt they had not been acted upon by her police force, and after the J report was published, she joined forces with Ms. Senior to complain about the role of senior officers in failing to tackle the problem. Last week Angie and Jayne were vindicated. The police watchdog upheld their complaint. But the full report into senior officers, seen, was not published. Only aspects of it were included in a much broader review into the role of the police called Operation Linden. The IOPC investigation into the senior command, called Operation Amazon, was sent to the complainants on Wednesday, and it criticizes the lack of strategy to tackle the problem of grooming gangs, but it does not name any officers nor make specific recommendations for the future.